Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And this I'm so stupidly saying for the second or third time now, because two times I've recorded the same video without voice. So this time I think probably it's with the voice. So let's just start. My all jokes and fun part is over now. We'll only be studying. So first things first, just keep write everything, and you might be referring those who are not referring any class notes. They might be referring PNAT, and right now you can just leave everything is there. You'll get these notes are fine. Just write them along. And yes, you need to have your notes. They are very important because in mains you cannot be referring to some books. You won't get the time to. One more quick advice is that rather than focusing on doing all the right things, just avoid doing the stupid things. So if you just don't do the stupid things, you'll end up doing right things more. So avoid doing what is not meant to be done, and then you might do what is meant to be done. All right, so let's start. Growth and development. Why do we even study this chapter? So this is, let me first, for those who have not seen the syllabus even once, and I hope you guys see it as early as you can, because otherwise you'll need to see at a time where you'll really regret that, oh, at least. So let me just cut to the chase. It's unit 10 in paper 1, physical anthropology. Every year around one question definitely comes, and in some good year three questions might come, and you can easily attempt, because here out of scoring out of 10 you can easily score 10 or a 7, and that's a very good score, as compared to the theories or the socio-cultural part where scoring 10 and 8 you really need to write a good answer for that. So for growth and development, to understand various stages and patterns of human growth, we are studying this to understand and what are the factors which are controlling growth and development. What is considered to be abnormal growth, and to what we need to realize the potential of human life by developing tools and techniques for humans. All this AI, Nvidia chips, and this is going, so they can develop technologies for whom, for humans. So at least you should first understand like how human growth and development happens, how this brain, which starts from the point of conception and then goes to become an organism, and then eventually is destroying the world is living in earth. But that's fine. I think that is what is technological development meant to humans. Maybe they have faltered in their some growth part, but let's just for now stick to exam. So growth is a quantitative concept, whereas development is a holistic concept. ग्रोथ में इट इज लाइक कि पॉइंट ऑफ कंसेप्शन जाइगोट बना, मल्टीप्लाई हुआ एक ऑर्गेनिज्म बन जाता है एक दिन पे. दिस मल्टीप्लिकेशन इन नंबर्स इज ग्रोथ. Development is a more holistic concept. How? It is not only the physical growth, it is the intellectual growth, and it is the psychosocial growth in a human. So it's a holistic growth. And one more thing I'd like to say, that please focus on the keywords here. Like growth, keyword is quantitative. Development, keyword is holistic. If you miss keywords, you won't be getting marks. How so would you answer you right? Because the examiner won't have the time to give you marks. He'll just be looking at the keywords, tick tick tick, and marks. So please stick to the keywords I've highlighted. I'm highlighting again also. All right. So development as a process involves three aspects: the physical growth, the intellectual, and the psychosocial growth. Physical may it is as the increase of body in size, brain, sensory capacities, your intellectual personality. The intellectual development is your reasoning abilities, your thinking, your memory, your mental ability, your language. Psychosocial is it. Psychosocial basically reflects the manner in which the individual interacts with the society and expresses emotions. So it is a complex. It can be said to be a complex interplay of the intellectual development and the physical development. Moving on, the milestones of development, they are not absolute. Why are they not absolute? Because they may show variations within population and between populations. So we as a human species, we have a lot of variations in our genes plus variations in our environment. So a person maybe in Siberia might not be same as a person who's growing up in Africa to Latin America or something, it has to be different. So these variations, they increases with the advancing age, because due to increase in the environment, increase in the changing, increase in the changing role of the environment, I meant to say. But despite all the apparent variations, human as a species have decided that, we will build some predictable principles, so we could become more. I think this species wants to add the sapiens that was gone taken from us, Homo sapiens sapiens. We want to become a smarter human, and we are, I think, we are de-evolving, but I don't have any theories to prove it yet. So, moving on, the predictable principles, there are three: cephalocaudal, proximodistal, and orthogenetic. So, the cephalocaudal principle says that as per this, development always proceeds from top to bottom. And so usually you see when babies are born, their head is heavier than other part of the body, but when the baby grows, when the baby grows, the head part becomes less heavy and the weight uniformly spreads. So the fractional size of the head is more than in the fetal stage and goes on decreasing towards the adulthood. The newborns, they get the control of their head and neck muscles first, followed by the lower part of the body. And next is proximodistal. So, in this, the development happens from center. From center, it radiates out. So the babies first gain control over their bust portion, followed by the upper forelimb and the upper hind limb, and then the lower forelimb, lower hind limb, and at the last the fingers. Also, the embryonic level, the zygote divides and grows centrifugally outside. Orthogenetic is a mixture of the first two. So basically, it is a mixture of cephalocaudal and proximodistal, that is top to bottom and then centrally radiating outside. So in this, it is just that the increasing order of complexity. So in this example is that when babies, first speak out, or they write something, the illogical scribbling it is called, before they start writing meaningful words. Though it is an irony that when they learn the language, they write more illogical words and speak more illogically, as compared to their so-called illogical scribblings, which they do in their infant stage or whatever. And it is written that sounds before learning the language. Stages of human growth and development. So there are two stages: prenatal and postnatal. Prenatal means pre-birth, postnatal means after birth or maybe till death. So if you have seen the PYQs, direct question came, I think, in 2022 on prenatal. You just had to list down the stages: germinal stage, and then the embryonic phase and the fetal phase. All right. So starting with the embryonic phase, let me just erase this. Okay. So the fertilization, when the egg and the sperm, the zygote is formed. So this is the point of conception. Now this zygote will develop, divide, and become an organism. So the germinal phase, it starts with fertilization and continues with rapid cell multiplication. The process, which runs for 2 weeks, ends up into a hollow spherical cellular structure with inner cell mass in it. So it was like this zygote divided 2, 4, 16, so on, and then finally it became a hollow mass structure, which was called as ICM, inner cell mass. Inner cell mass is a keyword here. The ICM then splits into 3 layers, namely ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, which are then with each committed for a different part of the body. This spherical structure here formed with these 3 layers is called blastula, and it is embedded in the uterus. So now we are done with the pre-embryonic phase, moving to the embryonic phase now. In this, the individual layers start developing to specialized tissues. Specialization is starting. Hence, it is a phase of rapid cell differentiation and specialization. Any error in this is associated with development anomalies. In the baby, the growing structure here is called the embryo. The embryonic phase lasts till for about 2 months. So the things which I've highlighted with the neon color, they are the keywords. Do these things should be seen by the examiner in your answers. Next, the last stage is the fetal stage. In this, the growing structure is called the fetus and it starts looking like human. The cell multiplication and differentiation both continues until the end of the 9 months, and then finally the baby is born. And now once the baby is born, the baby will plan to become civil servant someday, and then the baby might end up making videos about how from a zygote he was born to a organism now, then we initially will do some things and then death one day. So in this chapter there's very beautiful line that biology, it presents the best statistics ever, cent% death. And if you see, this is a very good thought to end this part of discussion with. Next will be beginning with the factors controlling growth and development. So all right, bye, thank you.